To get to this point was a process, and it became evident that it was the right thing for me to do. I believe that once one is capable of providing for him or herself, then he or she is capable of impacting others and creating an environment for them to do the same. I was born in Kotzebue, Alaska, to Lizzie Allen. My Aka Misak was an important part of me moving to Point Hope to Leo and Marianne Kinnevac. I started spending a lot of time with my Uncle Jacob, and my Uncle Jacob sat me down with a file and soapstone, and that kind of lit a spark in me.
My name is Emily Eden Shaw. I am Yupik and Iñupiak, and my family comes from Imanik, Alaska. I live and work on the Dena'ina lands as the president and CEO of the Alaska Native Heritage Center. On behalf of the Heritage Center board and staff, I want to say Kwaenakbuk, thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm so honored to share a little bit about our work and to speak to our project.
Around the age of 11 came experimentation with drugs, alcohol. I would carve every now and then, but my addiction came to the forefront of who I was becoming. I got into some trouble. Someone lost their life. I ended up incarcerated for 50 years, 25 years suspended. During my incarceration, I sobered up. I made a vow to myself never to use mind-altering substances. I seen the importance of with the other guys that were incarcerated. It was a way for them to kind of focus on something positive, send money home.
So the word Iñupiphany has its roots in the word Iñupiak, which means the real person. And the epiphany occurred when a community member named Helen Lane came to us and said that we need a women's version of Alaska Art Alliance. So really, Iñupiphany is the idea personified of a woman becoming a real person. And what we mean by that is through Iñupiphany, Alaska Native women are going to be able to live and to be their most authentic selves. Because what we say in the Alaska Native community is to really live and be your true entire self is to practice your art, know your culture, learn your language.
I realized that there was a need for people to have a place to work, and a lot of them didn't have job skills, but most of them who came from the villages knew how to carve. We created the back with carving stations. I put up a sign in the front of the store, and people started to come in, and my number one rule was sobriety.
So at the heart of the Alaska Native Heritage Center and what we do is really our partnerships. And this last year, our partnership with Alaska Art Alliance is really not only revolutionary, but it's very healing, not only for the Heritage Center and for our community, but for the men going through the program. So Iñupiphany has started with the idea that we need a safe space for women in Anchorage to go to reconnect to themselves, to learn their traditional art, to share with each other, and to really become who they were meant to be as Alaska Native women.
I think that there's just as many women who could utilize the space and break that cycle of addiction.
Like many organizations this last year, we were significantly impacted by COVID. But what a lot of people don't know is that it really pushed us to be innovative and to really think outside the box. So this last year, we partnered with organizations all across the state to bring culture boxes to thousands of youth. And each one of our boxes is grounded in the understanding that A, everyone should have access to culture no matter where you live, and B, it should be free. So oftentimes the Heritage Center is distilled down to we're just a cultural center or we're just an education center. But the truth is that we serve people in schools, in shelters, on the streets, in jails, just to name a few. But what we know to be true is that Alaska Natives have been here since time immemorial. We're the first peoples of this land, and we're going to be here for generations to come. What we also know is that our arts and culture is healing. Thank you so much, Kwaenakbuk, for this opportunity to share a little bit about the work that we do here at the Alaska Native Heritage Center and for inviting us to apply to direct relief.